tap into the Boise State football program once again. Ahmed Hassanein has a tremendous story from Egypt and to the NFL and via Boise State as well. He joins us right now. Ahmed, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this. Love your story and how you been.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I mean, it's an honor. So I've been great. I've just been working out, interviewing with teams, just been seeing where God is going to lead me.
So take us through this story. How did you find football from Egypt? I know there's a family component to this as well, which makes it a pretty cool story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in the United States. And the story's super long, so I'm just going to try to summer the best I can. Uh, I was born in the United States in California, California, Orange County. Um, I was born there. I left the United States when I was 6 years old. I left my older brother, Corey. We're half brothers. He stayed with his mom. I left with my dad. We're half brothers. I went to Egypt and I lived there for 10 years. Only spoke English. Didn't know any Arabic. Didn't know anything at all. I kind of had a rough time growing up in Egypt. I don't know. I wasn't the best kid, and like I was just angry all the time. I grew up with a single parent. My mom left when I was 3 years old, and my dad kind of raised me. So it's kind of hard for me growing up without a mom. But I found my outlet, which is doing a lot of sports. I did a lot of like CrossFit, jiu-jitsu, judo, ping pong, like hip hop, breakdancing for a little bit because I felt like family and culture, right? So I felt like people are just happy for me that I'm doing good in sports. I was ranked in CrossFit. I was the first on Egypt, top 10 on Africa in the CrossFit Games. So sports was kind of my outlet. But man, 10 years go by. My brother that I left in the United States, he was playing semi-pro football in Austria, and he saw me and he was like, "Come play football for me." And he was visiting Egypt. My sister booked him a ticket, and he was like, "Hey, come see the family. 10 years you haven't seen, you haven't spoken to them, you didn't know anything about them. So come talk to them." 10 years, and he moved to come visit. And at that time, I couldn't speak any English, didn't know any football, didn't know nothing. And at that time, I suggested to my dad because I had the American citizenship. My cousin went to a military school in Georgia. It's called Riverside. Uh, he woke up at 6 a.m. He had a disciplined life. He was really disciplined. I was like, I love that. I love that about him. I want to have that kind of lifestyle. So I wanted to go to a military school in Georgia. So I suggested to my dad, and I told him like, hey, like I have the citizenship. Why not just send him to? I want to go to a military school. And my dad agreed, and he was like, okay, we're gonna send you to a military school. But at that same time, my brother was visiting after 10 years. We haven't seen each other. He saw me and he suggested to my dad, and he told my dad, hey, send him to America with me. I'm a high school football coach and an English teacher. And at that time, I didn't speak English or play any football. 1 month later, I moved to the States and I went to Loyola High School in California. I I didn't have a D line coach. I didn't have a sled. I didn't have nothing. I had to go both ways, play two positions, like never get off the field. But I did not know what football was or couldn't speak English. So they had to put it like in a symbol, it's like the simplest form for me to understand. Because I could understand English, but I can't speak it. So I can't tell you what I know. Because I had a little bit of English background. But my brother is very smart and he really translated easy for me. He coaches the wide receivers. They tried him as a wide receiver, couldn't catch the ball. They tried him as a linebacker. There's just so much stuff going on. She just put me in the D line and told me to go get the guy who has the ball. And I was like, all right, perfect. See ball, get ball. I can do that. Didn't have the how to start because I started just grabbing face masks, just throwing people, kicking people. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Until one day, my head coach, Coach Mitch Olson, taught me the way and taught me how to be like really like I don't know, successful in life and how to become a young man and have like hold my own and really taught me how to do everything. Keep what you gonna ask? You ask something?
Yeah, so I'm just. What year was this? When you first started getting on the football field?
2018.
Wow. So you go from 2018 coming back to America. You don't speak English anymore. You basically have no clue what football is. As Ahmed Hassanein is here with us. And now we're sitting here in 2025, and you're on the verge of becoming the first Egyptian player to ever get drafted. So, like, when did it all start to click for you that you realize, okay, this isn't just a way of life and this is something that I like. I'm pretty damn good at this.
I mean, by God's grace, man, it's just like I did not know anything just to see where God has led me. It's all God, like all glory to Him and all praise to Him, man. It was to see where He led me and what He brought me through. Like out of 150 million people in Egypt, I'm the first one to ever do it. It's kind of crazy to me. And a kid that didn't know the language, didn't know the game, didn't know anything. But where it started for me is I was watching Aaron Donald play, right? And on Sunday, and they were playing his highlights, and he was just dominating everybody. And I did not know what the NFL was. I did not know what the D1 level is. I did not know a scholarship. I didn't know what any of that. So I watching Aaron Donald play, and I was like, I talked to my brother, and I was like, hey, what high school he goes to? And he was like, bro, that's not a high school. That's the NFL. And I was like, NFL? What's that? He's like, bro, that's the National Football League. I was like, okay, I want to go there. And this when it started, and he was like, bro, I understand there's only 1 or the 2% makes it, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to become the 2%. I want to make it. And he was like, okay, I got to start taking the camps and you got to start getting known because you don't have a D line coach at your high school. So like you're not going to get seen from Loera. You play. I love Loera and all praise them, but it's a D14 school. It's a very small school. We barely have a weight room. Like it's just like this is the only thing that's nice that we have. So I started going to camps, and that time it was COVID, so I only played 2 years of high school football. And it was COVID too, so I couldn't get recruited and couldn't get known or anything. But my brother started taking me to camps that people were like hosting in their garage, and I started doing one-on-ones with the mask on. And I just literally was watching YouTube videos about how to pass rush and how to win your one-on-one. And I was really watching it and watching everybody what they do, and I was like, okay. And I simplified it, and I was like, okay, a point A to point C, but B is blocking me. So how to either go through him, go around him, or go inside of it, like just make it work. And I just start dominating people from like 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, you name it. I just start dominating everybody. And people were like, who the hell is this kid? And my brother is like, that's my brother. He's been only playing football for 2 years and he wants to go D1. He wants to he wants to go D1. And man, it's just by God's grace. It's Spencer Danielson, my head coach at Boise State now. He was the D-line coach at Boise State. So when I was getting recruited and getting offers,
didn't he play with your brother?
Exactly, he played with my. So when he texted me and he was like, "Hey, I loved your film," and I got excited that Boise State texted me because my brother told me something about Boise State and he has a guy there. And I was like, "Oh, bro, check this out. Boise State texting me," and he was like, "Wait, I played with that guy. That's Spencer Danielson."
Wow.
And so I felt by like God's calling to be at Boise State, and best decision I ever made to be at Boise State, and just really taught me everything. It taught me from the first down to the fourth down to the parts of the field, how big the field is, and the football IQ is starting to grow. I played as a true freshman because I was like physically developed, I would say, but always can grow. But I played as a true freshman, started a few games my sophomore year, started all my senior year, started all my junior year, started all my senior year. I was a team captain for the 2 years, voted by my teammates. So it's been awesome to just see where God is leading me and where God is going to take me, So I'm so honored, just to be able to share my story and just be an inspiration for some people, because some people told me that it can't be done and you can't do it, you can't make it, you're going to come back to Egypt in 2 weeks, you can't speak English, and look at me now, I'm about to be the first, hopefully, by God willing, be the first student to ever get drafted. And just keep going and just have that laser focus that I'm going to accomplish whatever comes my way,
That's the crazy part of the story, the way that you just laid it out, how little you knew, nothing about football. And the last 2 years, with only 2 years of playing in high school, the last 2 years at Boise State, you had 22 sacks. I still think you are unknown nationally. You are a great kept secret. So sell me a little bit. If I'm an NFL GM, why should I take a chance on Ahmed Hassanein? Why will you turn out to be a great player in the NFL? Because it seems like you are just getting started and you still have a big, bright future for you.
Man, I love that you asked that question. I literally, Coach D believed in me, and believing in me means a lot to me. And if you want me to come develop, die for that team, build a team culture, I would do it because that's the type of person I am. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for anything. I'm in it for my teammates and for the coaches to do good and to do good for them, and to do good for myself. And money will come at the end of the day. I could have left. I could have had some offers at college, but I didn't. I stayed at Boise State because they believe in me, and I'm loyal to whoever believes in me. And this is something in my culture that means so much to me. I'm ready to die for you if you believe in me, and you're ready to do the same for me. I literally, me and Coach D, every time before game days, I look at him and I was like, Coach, I will die for you today. Because it's just like, what's a bigger sacrifice than that? So I'm the type of person that's, if you were bringing a building, he wants a team culture, he wants to lead, and he wants to grow and learn and develop other people. It's not about me all the time. It's about other people as well. And I'm just ready. I'm the type of guy, if you block me once, you better come again, because I'm going to come after you every single play. No matter what happens, no matter if I got blocked, I got panked, no matter what, I'm going to come. I'm going to get it back up. I'm going to get right in your face. It's just like I'm the type of player that's like never stops. I will never stop. Get blocked, find another way, find another way, find another way. Because this has been my whole life. I couldn't speak English. I couldn't understand English. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything that's like, I couldn't play football. I didn't understand what football is. Like, I just understand that people running and hitting each other. That's all I knew. And 22 sacks in 2 years, 15 plus TFLs back to back. So you're talking about consistency, and you're talking about somebody that will lay his body out for the team. And if you watch the Penn State game, man, the last game, I was literally hobbling on one leg, and the trainers and the coaches were telling me to get out, your future. And I was like, I don't care about the future. I care about this team, this moment right now. You know what I'm saying?
Love the answer. Love the answer. Ahmed Hassanein here with us. I got to ask you about Ashton Jeanty, because he could have left and gone other places as well. He elected to stay. I'm a huge Ashton Jeanty fan, and I got to watch a lot of you this year because of watching Ashton Jeanty. Some people will say, hey, running back is too early with the 6th overall pick to the Raiders. What would you say to people that are like, oh, it's too early to draft Ashton Jeanty?
Man, if you want a franchise-changing player, that's Ashton Jeanty right there. I mean, he's the type of player, like we were team captains together, and we led this team together. And you're talking about brotherhood and somebody that can have so many offers and so many opportunities to go to whatever team he wants to get as much as amount of money he could have made in the NIL, and he stayed with the Boise State. That tells you enough about his character and who he is as a person. Other than he's a dominant football player and a great athlete. Look at him as a person. You would love to have him on your roster as a teammate. And I believe that he should go the 1st overall. To be honest with you, because that's just the type of person he is, and how his work ethic is. He's a game-changing player, and he's a franchise player. So I love that guy to death, and I would die for him. But he's my brother, So I love Ash.
I got to ask you a fun question to wrap it up. This is our biggest character assessment whenever we talk to prospects. When you're eating a chicken wing, do you go ranch or do you go blue cheese?
Ranch.
Oh, it was such a good conversation.
Really?
Yeah. More and more people are saying ranch. I'm a blue cheese guy with wings.
I mean, I can see it, but it takes away the flavor a little bit. But okay, I can see it.
Ahmed Hassanein, hey, I love your story. I love what you're about. We can't wait to hear your name called next week. And when you become the first Egyptian player to get drafted, it's going to be a very cool thing to see. So thanks so much for doing this, and be well, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.